Canva, anything like that, pop them in the chat and we'll come back to them towards the end. But I'll hand over to Jade.
Hello everybody, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us it's a really busy time of year, isn't it, that first week of term. So I appreciate everyone taking the time to learn more about Canva. Today, hopefully out the session, we're going to run through all the different features and wonderful tools in Canva and show you how you can supercharge creativity in your classroom. My role here at Canva is I am the UK Education Community Manager. You can find me on all these platforms. I'm always chatting about new features and showing.
Jade, you're not sharing.
Ah, that's not clever, is it?
Don't worry.
There we go. There we go. Is that good? We all good?
Yeah, we can see it now.
Brilliant, thank you. Yes, so you can find me on any one of these platforms, and yeah, please do come and connect with me and tag me in every time you showcase something that you've done in Canva, because I really love to see it. So what we're going to cover today, I'm going to cover what is Canva for Education, give you a brief overview. I'm going to do a live demo. I'm going to take you through the basics of how to work the dashboard. For those of you who are really new to Canva, this will be a great introduction. And for others, maybe we'll show you some new tricks. And then the third part of the session, we'll be covering Canva Learning and how you can use some of our classroom features with your students. And then what next? I'm going to give you a whole ream of resources that you can use following on this webinar to really deepen your learning. I can see a comment saying a lady says she can't hear me. Is the sound okay?
Oh, no, do absolutely fine all day.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okie dokie.
That's all right.
Right.
Nice.
Let's dive in.
You're selling online.
Okay, so Canva for Education is an all-in-one visual communication platform. We launched in about 2013. I used to run an education business, and Canva was literally my best friend for creating social media graphics and education resources. Yes, so it's been very, very popular with small business owners and big businesses. In fact, we're now used by 95% of Fortune 500 companies. So this is a tool that your students will be leaving when they leave education. Canva for Education was launched in 2019. We currently have 70 million students and teachers using Canva on a monthly basis. These teachers come from and students come from all over the globe. We have communities all across Europe, France, Italy, Spain, Turkey, and then a bit further afield in places like the Philippines, Thailand, Japan, and then of course our big global communities in America and Australia. And the good news is Canva for Education is 100% free for primary and secondary schools. So you can get access to all of the pro features that people in the commercial sector pay for, and our classroom tools as well. So in terms of some of those tools, there is so many to mention, but as a brief summary, you can create docs on there, whiteboards, presentation, social media stuff, video, which is something that we'll do a completely different webinar on, and you can even create websites. So why is Canva for Education free? Well, we believe that education is a human right. We have 3 founders who are based in Australia. They're committed to doing as much good in the world as we can. And actually, just recently, we have passed the $1 billion mark in terms of the free products that we've given both to education and to the not-for-profit sector. Importantly, the skills that your students will develop on the Canva platform are those skills that are highly sought after in the world of work. So they're going to develop some creativity skills, entrepreneurial skills. They're going to practice all of the collaborative skills, but also the skill of learning to learn independently and playing with this amazing tool to share their learning and express their creativity. Okay. So let's dive into the platform. Okay, so let's take a look. So if I press here on my homepage, you can see here that at the top we have what we call our floating toolbar, which will take you really quickly to the type of document that you want to create. Okay, so you press on here and it'll take you to a template. Okay, you can also see here on the left hand side we have access to your recent designs. So if you're working on something and you want to find it fast, you can find it here and also here in the main part of your screen. Interestingly, for everybody here on the call, one of your first plates of call might be our templates. We have over 80,000 templates that have been specifically created for educators. Now, these are in different languages, they are aligned to the curriculum in the USA, but a little known secret is that here in the UK, we have a small team of teachers who work for us on a freelance basis, who are actually creating content that is aligned to the British curriculum. So you'll find templates that are for science, English, maths, things like social and emotional learning, but also we do have template creators who specialise in subjects like computers. Once you find a creator, a top tip for you is to find them and then to actually give them a heart so that you've always got access to their templates. So here are two of our UK education creators. Jebin is a maths teacher based in Birmingham. She creates some amazingly beautiful resources. And then Brenda's based in London and she is a science specialist. So yeah, so when you find one of those creators that you love and that's aligned to the curriculum that you're working on, give them a heart, and then you've always got them there in that shortcut to find their resources. Okay, let's go back to home. Templates. So as I said, we have over 80,000 templates here in Canva for Education, all of which have been created for you. We've got ready to teach lessons, as you can see here. And then you can also search by a year group, by resource type, and by subject. Okay, so let's search for templates and see what we can do with it. So I'm going to have a look at Shakespeare and see what I can find. Okay, so we're going to, let's just have a look at what we've got, and I'm going to pick one. So I'm going to pick the language of Shakespeare, customize the template here. And this really is a starting point for you. You've got some content there, you've got a layout, which then you can adapt as you see fit. So one of the first ways that we can adapt our template is simply by just changing the colours. So you click on the element that you want to change, hit the colour bar, and then you can change it.
I don't know if it's caught up with what you're doing, because we can still see the template with the customize this template option. We can't.
Okay, let's stop sharing and then we'll start again. We might have to do this several times. Here we go. We all good? We see Shakespeare?
Yeah, you can see it now. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. So all I did, if I just undo that, originally this element here was red, and we've just simply selected it, hit the colour bar, and changed it. Let's change it to pink. Okay, so really easy way. You can also change the font. Again, you just click on the element, click over here, and change the font. Super easy. You also might want to add some different elements as well to your presentation. Now, we have, again, as part of the Canva Pro subscription, which you get for free, we have millions of videos, elements, graphics, audio tools that you can access for free. And actually within the Canva for Education product, all of those templates, all of those assets are deemed school safe. So it's assets that are only appropriate for students. So let's use this lovely little cute animal that I used before. Let's say that I want to add an element to the slide. So I've been searching, I've decided I want to choose this random seahorse. Okay, so just wanted to show you this because it's a lovely tool. So we've added the seahorse. Actually, I might decide that I like their colours better. So I can click here, move down, and then press apply colours, and it will change the colours of your slide deck to suit your elements. Let's undo that because it looks a bit loud. But the other thing that we can do also is find elements that are similar to the one that we've added. So again, you click the three dots, press info, view collection, and then it's going to show you all of the elements that are created by the same illustrator, the same designer, that then you can add to your presentation. So yeah. So I just want to show you how well these templates are designed, because I think that having something that looks visually appealing, making certain concepts stand out, using visual imagery really to kind of express more clearly the concepts that you're trying to share with students is a great way to help them learn, and also a great way to help them remember what you're teaching. Okay, so next thing to share here. So this is a little bit of a hint to some of the features that you can use in the Canva classroom. But if you press share, let's imagine that we are happy with this presentation. You can also share it as an assignment. So if you connected your Canva to Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams, you would collect here. You would then choose a type. And so you would share it as a template for students if you wanted them to amend that design, or you can share it as instructions only. Okay, so there we go. Right, let's move on. Okay, so we're going to go back to home. Let me know, are we all good? Can we see the screen? Yeah? Fingers up. Yeah.
Yep, you're all good.
Brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to choose a doc this time. I'm going to show you some of our Magic Studio features. Okay, so hopefully everybody can see this doc. I'm going to do a lesson plan. Okay, so let's click on Magic Write. And again, this is a great tool that just helps you to perhaps not start planning your lesson on a blank page. It's going to give you some ideas, and it's just going to supercharge your productivity and hopefully reduce the time that you have in terms of to prepare a lesson. So let's say we want to write an outline for a lesson on Shakespeare. Let's stick with a theme for year 6 students. Okay, let's go. It's going to think about it for a little minute. And then, as you can see, we've got some suggestions for a lesson there. Let's give it a second. Okay, I'm going to insert it. So there you are, you've got like a suggestion for a lesson plan, but there's actually a lot more that you can do with this as well. I want to show you some other really cool features. So imagine this is any type of doc that you're using in the classroom, or maybe with your colleagues, or you wrote a newsletter home to parents, and perhaps you want to change the text and translate it into a different language. You would click on magic switch here, press translate. So let's go for French. We're going to stick with an original, or maybe we'll go for a professional tone of voice. You press translate. It's going to take a little second. It's coming. I think maybe because I asked it to do professional, it's taken a little bit longer. Open dark. And there we go. Can everyone see that?
Can't see the French one.
Okay, okay. We'll stop sharing and we'll start again. Here we go. So there's your lesson plan in French. Pretty awesome, pretty quick, great for language teachers. Also great if you've got you know, a community where you've got all people from different parts of the world and you're communicating with parents. I think this is like a really super awesome tool. The other thing that you can do, and we're going to go back to this lesson plan, we're going to go back to our other lesson plan. So we'll stop sharing and then we'll share again. Let's do this. So we're going to go back to our lesson plan here. Magic Switch, another super awesome tool, is you can actually then take this lesson plan and convert it into a presentation. So if you've made notes from a meeting or you want to take your lesson plan and turn it into something that's a bit more visual, click here. We can choose the format. These are pretty basic. And then we're going to create my presentation. Can we all see that one? Yeah?
No.
Great. Oh, somebody got this. Let's start. Oh, this is fun. Okay, share. There we go. There we go. There's your lesson plan. It's pretty basic, but as you can see, you can go into the elements and you can change it up pretty quickly. One of the things that you might want to do as well as a school is if you sign up as a school, you can actually add your brand colours here. You can add your school fonts and you can add your brand, your school tone of voice, some photographs. So then every time you want to change your, if you get a template and you want it to be in your school colours, you would literally just use the colour palette in your template to change it up. So, yeah, so again, great for kind of parental newsletters, staff meetings, or any kind of documents that you're creating that you really want to have the, you know, your school brand, you know, in there as a central part of the document. Okay, let's try and do a little bit more fun stuff. So if we go over to apps and we look at Magic Media. Here we've got some of our tools. Now, before we go into Magic Media, hopefully you can see all this. We have a bank of some excellent tools that you can use in the classroom and yourself and for yourself. So Cartoonify is a great one there for making images. Magic Morph really will change fundamentally some of the elements in your photographs and things like that. There's also an anime one as well. Just give it a search, have a look at for some of those tools and play around with them. So let's have a look at Magic Media. So let's say we want a picture about Shakespeare. I'm just going to pick a scene from Romeo and Juliet. And then I'm going to press Inspire Me. Oh, I didn't want Inspire Me. Didn't want to do that. Romeo and Juliet. Okay. So you can pick on any one of these filters or you can have none. I'll pick Filmic. Let's generate an image. And then pretty quickly, you've got some images that you can use in your presentations, in your documents to really bring things to life. Now, one of the interesting ways that I found to use this is my mum, who was a retired head teacher, decided to keep her hand in, and she's been at college every year since she retired, this year to study floristry. So when it came to doing all of her kind of assessment work, I taught her how to use magic media. So rather than her going to find images that that suited her coursework, I taught her how to actually just generate the images super quickly. So again, for kind of planning your lessons, it's great. For your students, a great way to get them to think about the words that they use in terms of generating prompts. We used this activity on a project that we did with Sky Art earlier this year. And what we showed students was how to add more descriptive language to get a more accurate image. So yeah, so there we go. But in exactly the same way that you would, we've created those images, you can also create graphics and videos. So let's do a seahorse and seahorse. Spelling is terrible and I'm on camera. Let's see where it does. It will take a little minute. There we go. So again, it's just quicker than you trying to find images by yourself. And it also means that you know that they are, they're under the Canva, the license as well. Okay, two more things that I want to show you. Let's start with, let's go back home. Hopefully you can all see this. And then I'm going to click websites. No thanks. So websites, you can create a website in Canva and it's 100% free. It will allow you to publish the website. It will give you a URL that will say my Canva site dot whatever you want to call it, or you can actually add your own domain name. So this is great if you maybe want to set up a classroom website or ask your students to create a portfolio. And if you can use Canva slide decks, you can build a website. It is so easy. So let me show you. So here we've got a blank slate, but as ever, Canva always will provide you with some templates. So if we click over InDesign here, you can see that there are a whole set of website templates which you could just use. Let's try. Well, here's a classroom one. So you could apply all 7 pages in one go. There you go. That's pretty cool. Or let's undo that one and undo there. Or you can go to our layouts and there's a whole series of templates here that you can use. So there would be your header page. Maybe you want some more information here. Maybe you want to add a video. So let's put that here. And then let's go and search a video. So maybe, I don't know, rainy day video. Here we go. And we can just pop that in to there. So you've got a rainy day video. So it's really, really simple. It's great to play around with and it's really, really intuitive. So again, you can use the brand tools just to change it up, change the colours. Yeah, and you've got all of our photographs, magic media and everything to make that website amazing. You can publish as many websites as you want as well, you aren't restricted. But here you are, you can see it gives you your own website tool. Or if you're working with maybe somebody who is an IT specialist, you can add your own domain name as well. So yeah, so I was chatting to a school that actually is going to use Canva to create a whole project website as well, totally for free because it comes within your Canva for Education license. One more tool that I want to show you before we go back to the slide deck is whiteboards. Okay. So whiteboards are a great tool for you to use as a teaching team, but also with your students, really to kind of get that interactivity going in the classroom. This is one that I used earlier. So let's have a look. So let me just make that screen bigger so you can see. So as you can see, this is a template. So it's come preloaded with some stickers. You can share a link with your students or your colleagues, and everybody can come on the whiteboard at the same time. And then if they want to add some comments or the thoughts, they can do it two ways. They can click on here and duplicate it, and then just add it to the whiteboard. Or you can use a shortcut, press S, and then it'll automatically create you a little sticky note. And as you can see, it's got my name on it, so you can see who's added each of the sticky notes. If students want to add their sticky note to the tool, you should be able to click on it, and it should say add the name on it. It's not working on mine, probably because it's yeah. Here we go. Okie dokie. Right. Once everybody's added all of their stickers, you can come here. You can select them all. So you just right click and drag, and then hang on, group. You can then sort all of your sticky notes, and you'll be able to sort it by a number of different things, by colour, by the people, or also just by the topic. So the Magic AI will then take all of those sticky notes and group them into different types of whatever grouping you decided that you want to use. So yeah, so there we go. Yeah, okay. Right, so that kind of concludes the live demo. I'm going to move back to my slides, so just bear with me. Hopefully we can do that without switching the screen. Let's move. Okay. We all good? Can we all see this?
Yeah, you're all good.
Brilliant, fabulous. Okie dokie. So let's move on to some other things just to let you know about. So for those of you who are in primary school, and don't worry, I'm going to drop the link to this presentation in the chat, so you've all got it. Okay. There we go. We've just launched a new primary school work kit. So you can use that QR code, just scan it, it'll take you to a link. But there'll be one for secondary schools soon as well. But that'll give you access to a whole new set of templates that have been created specifically for primary schools. Okay, what have we got next? Yes, so part 3, this one is just talk to you about some of the classroom features that we have in Canva. I'm going to give you a really quick run through over this, and at the end of this session there'll be a link to our teacher certified course, and that's going to give you a more in-depth look at how to kind of set up your classroom and how to share resources with students. I just want to give you a quick overview in this session. So
Jade, we can still see the primary work kit.
Okay, let's stop share and try again. Thank you. There we go. We all good?
Yeah.
Fabulous, thank you. So yes, so you can create lessons in Canva. So what are the benefits of creating those lessons in Canva? Well, one, you get everything stored in one place. And it allows you to share kind of those resources for a single activity, for a project, all in one go with your students. They can use it for homework or for independent learning. And we do have some built-in accessibility tools that you can use as well. So there are 3 different ways that you can use Canva lessons. One, you can go and explore some of our ready-to-teach resources. They're there for you. You can adapt them. You can share them with students. 2, you can create your own resources. And 3, you can upload them as well. Okay, so as I mentioned before, we've got, in addition to all of those templates, we've got a library of over 150 plus ready to teach lessons for you to explore and use. And what you can see on this slide deck is that generally there'll be a presentation, a lesson overview. There'll then be some resources for students to actually do some independent work, and then a way for the students to kind of wrap up their project and share their learning at the end. So yeah, this just shows you how to go and find them. But generally speaking, they cover all of the core curriculum. And then also lots of kind of really good subjects around future skills. We've worked with big brands like NASA as well. So there's some really, really good resources in that library. Okay. Next up, you can plan and structure and teach your own lessons in Canva. So you can take all of the tools that I've showed you today, bunch them all together into a project and share them with students. I imagine that lots of you have got your own resources that you've probably created either in Word or in Google, and you can upload these to Canva as well. So let me just show you here how to do that. So you simply click on the upload button, find your document, choose it. It will open it up in Canva. And then you would use, and Magic AI will recognise the fonts, so you can still use the same fonts. And then you can also use Magic Grab as well to really just move pictures around, realign things if you need to. But it's a quick way for you to upload your resources into Canva, store them in there and use them with students. Okay. Let's move on. Yes, and then if you connect your students to the SSO, either through Google or Microsoft, you're going to be able to share and track the progress of your students as they kind of like journey through the lessons that you've shared with them. So some really, really awesome tools there for you. You can also give feedback. So this is something that we use every day in Canva as we collaborate with each other on kind of plans and projects. So as you can see, you can just share some feedback, tag a student in, and then they'll get the feedback in their inbox. Okay. And as I mentioned earlier, we've got all of those embedded accessibility features as well for you to use. So lots to explore. Like it's, you know, there's a ton of resources for you to use. What I will say about Canva, it's really intuitive. It's actually great fun to explore and to try, you know, to use. And once you start creating in there, it can become really, really addictive. Okay, so now we're just coming to the final bit. I'm going to give you, tell you what next and where to go to sign up and get your free account. So there are actually 2 ways that you can access Canva for Education for free. The first one, which is the quickest, is to follow this QR code. It'll take you to a website, Canva for Education, canva.com/education, and you'll be able to verify your teacher status there. You will need to upload some type of ID, either your school badge, a letter from your head teacher, anything that basically shows us that you are employed as a teacher, you know, in a school right now. You'll obviously need to provide your email address, and usually, provided that you give them the correct information, then it usually takes about 24 hours for you to get that account up and running. And once you're in, then you can invite your colleagues and students into your classroom. So that's a fairly quick way to get started. If you are using Google or Microsoft as SSO, it does take a little bit longer. but it's quicker in the long run, is that you can actually follow this QR code. It'll take you to a form, and you can register your school domain. Once all that's set up, you'll be given instructions about how to connect that to either Microsoft or Google, which one of those you're using with your students. And you can actually create accounts for all of your staff, all of your students in one go once you're set up. So yeah, so there are 2 ways that you can get accounts. I've give you a really kind of basics 101 overview, but we've also got 2 more webinars coming up in the next week. These webinars are hosted by Canvassators. So these are expert teachers who are using Canva in the classroom, or we're training teachers on Canva every single day. And they'll be giving you some insights about how they use it, and just giving you some tips and tricks. So if you can come over to those sessions, that will just give you a deeper understanding of how practitioners are using Canva in the classroom. In particular, Steve Archer, for those of you in primary school, he is sharing his some wonderful case studies about how he's used Canva with students. So yeah, so if you can, please do come and sign up for those. The replays will be available in our Facebook community if you can't make them live, but please do register. Another QR code for you to follow as well. So again, if you're fairly new to Canva, our team have put together a back to school toolkit, and yeah, you can use that it gives you an overview of everything. It will give you some handy links to resources as well. We do have a design school as well, so there are a ton of tutorials, cheat sheets, playbooks as well for you to access. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we now have a Teacher Essentials certification. So it'll take you about 60 minutes to complete. It'll go through a lot of the stuff that I've already gone over, but it will also take you into the classroom features in a little bit more detail, and you get certification when you're finished. And then the final thing is we have all of these wonderful Facebook communities all over the world, and one in the UK. Please do come and join. You'll find us at Canva for Education UK on Facebook. We quite often we host webinars. Teachers will ask questions when they need a little bit of help, and I regularly run competitions and design challenges. So on Thursday, I'll be launching a competition to win for 5 teachers to win £100 of Canva print vouchers. And then once we're done with that competition, I'll be doing some Friday fun competitions every week. A little bit smaller value on the print vouchers, but just a great way for us all to share what we're doing on Canva every week. So yeah, please do come and join that as well. So that concludes everything, Becky. I'm ready for some questions.
There's going to be a lot, so I hope you're prepared for this.
I'm prepared. Let's go.
Okay. So what's the difference between Canva and Canva for Education?
So Canva is our commercial product, where businesses sign up as a subscription, and they get access to Canva Pro features. So Canva for within the Canva for Education product, you'll get access to all of those features as part of the product, and there is no charge.
Okay, wonderful. Are there dyslexia-friendly templates?
That's a really, really good question. We've got the accessibility tools, and let me go away and get an answer to that question specifically for you. Whoever asked it, come and join in the Facebook group, and then I'll get an answer and put that in there for you.
Wonderful.
Great.
There's a few teacher-based questions in terms of the getting access to education, which I'll come on to in a minute. Right, can you create tests in Canva? Somebody doing a PGCE in computer science, they said they want to create a test on programming using Python, where Python is embedded in Canva, because they want to be able to test that their programs below the questions that have been asked.
So if you go into the teacher certification course, I think it's one of the latter sections, it shows you how you can use that feedback tool to kind of run quizzes within your class, but I wouldn't say it's robust enough for a test.
Okay. Can you use the websites with children instead of something like Google Sites?
Yes.
And can those websites be shared in a limited way so that only people with the link can access it rather than it just being on the web?
Yes, and you can passcode it. You can put passcode on it as well. You can also tick a box so that Google doesn't troll your website, so they're completely private.
Wonderful. Okay, so the people that are trying to register for Canva Education and having issues, there's a few different ones, whether they're trainee teachers, their school badges have been rejected, based in a college, local authorities who work with children who are not in school, schools not eligible, universities who are working with trainee teachers. What do people do when they've got problems?
Okay, so you can email me and also come into our Facebook community. The quickest way to get an answer is to email support@canva.com. Our support team are amazing and they're really, really responsive. So if you let them know that you've had a problem with verification, then they are your quickest route to resolve it, really. I can do a little bit of escalating as well internally. So come into the Facebook group, and for those teachers who are having problems, we can kind of sort you out there. As it stands today, Canva is available for people who work in primary and secondary schools. So it's not available to people in local authorities, sadly, because we have to have a cut-off point somewhere, really. We just want to make sure it gets to students and teachers who need it the most. So that's one thing. In terms of colleges, I know that you lots of sixth form colleges and FE colleges have under 18 provision. So still go ahead. You need to go via the school domain. You need to apply as as an institution, and then just let us know. Either contact myself or my colleague Matt Jordan, and we can help you get that up and running for your under 18 provision.
Thank you. There was a lot of talk a while ago about whether it's safe to use Canva in primary schools because children had to be 13. Is that right?
So Canva, we have students, primary schools who are using Canva with really young students. We have initially, so what we advise schools now is to kind of put Canva in with whatever acceptable use policy they have, parental sign off with their parents. It's perfectly safe to use with under 13s. Canva has invested in something called the Canva Shield. So we make sure that everything is school safe. They can't put any words in or generate any images or videos that they shouldn't be generating. And it's overly cautious. So for example, I was at a team meeting and we were challenged to create superhero alter egos. I put in Wonder Woman, it would not let me do it. So it's very, very strict in terms of what it will allow students to do. And please do come on the call with Steve next week, who is he'll show you how they're using Canva throughout their primary school.
Thank you very much. Comment from somebody, shame that the community is on Facebook because there's plenty of people that don't trust Facebook. So I don't know whether you've got plans to set up a community on another platform.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So please come and follow me on Twitter, x.com. So I'm at Jade Canva Edu. For that very reason, I think we will likely launch something on x.com or somewhere else in the near future. But yeah, make sure you're following me on x.com or LinkedIn, because we will do a second channel for people that don't like Facebook.
Somebody said, looks amazing. They've not worked out how to create accounts for students using Google logins without each student individually accepting the invite and then the teacher having to make to create the accounts for them. Is there an easier way?
I would say for that, it depends on whether you're set up in the SSO as SSO or you're using it, or you've started your account as a verified teacher. Two things, I would just email support and ask them to walk you through it. That's the quickest way to get an answer on there.
And then can you please put links in the chat for the Facebook group and your Twitter handle, please?
Yes, let me do that for you now. So Facebook. So it's the Facebook group. I am at Jade Canva Edu on Twitter. That can't come through. No, let's do that one again. And do you want me to add these slides, Becky, as well, or would you like to send them out to people?
If you want to put the slides in the chat now, that's fine. And then I'll share everything, the recording and stuff with everybody next week. It's my colleague that deals with all that, and she's not in this week, so the next week. But at least if everyone's got the slides, if they want to go back through anything that you've said. If anyone else has got any questions, please feel free to stick around and either put your hand up or just put a message in the chat. I'm just putting a link in the chat to all of our upcoming events. So we've got Jade's coming back in a couple of weeks to do a specific session around creating Canva websites. It's listed as primary, it's still suitable for secondary if you want to join, and there's all of our other sessions on there as well. So if there's anything else that you want to get involved in, feel free to sign up to those sessions. Emma has a question.
Yeah, I did put it in the chat. I'm the person that asked about the local authority. I'm not quite sure you understand what we do. We work with children that don't have school placements, so they're already disadvantaged by not being in school. Obviously, working for a local authority, we have no money. I just wanted sort of like, I would argue that our students don't need it as much as other students. So I don't know whether you could look at that policy, because obviously we have really struggling students who would really benefit from sort of like creative tools such as this.
Yeah, absolutely. I've dropped my email address in the comments. Do you want to send me an email and take it from there?
Thank you.
And another question in the chat, if they set up a school domain account and then add students, will they automatically be signed in if they're signed into their Google account?
I think they'll have to obviously click sign in with Google before they go in. But yeah, I'm not sure of the answer to that question, but I think they'll probably have to sign in the same way that I would as well.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much everyone for coming. Hopefully you found that really useful. I know it's made me want to go and play around with all the tools that Canva's got. Thank you very much. So as I say, you'll get an email next week with the recording from the session in case you want to watch it back or if you want to share it with any colleagues. Have a look at all the sessions that we've got running, and feel free to join the communities that are relevant to yourselves so that you'll get notifications of upcoming events and so on. Thank you very much. If you have any other questions about CAS or Canva, then Jade and I will stick around for a few more minutes. But thank you very much and hopefully see you again soon.